Welcome to TRS Clips. Just know we've built this channel so that you binge watch the entire podcast through the highlights of different episodes. Like this video, but first, enjoy it. But on a very surface level, just for education purposes, what is the Defense Intelligence Agency? Because you headed it. What does that mean? For teenagers listening to it, what does intelligence mean? You know, when you say, oh, intelligence, agency, etc., like, there's a very foggy idea. People think of James Bond, people think of spies, people think of RAW. How is this different from RAW? Does it work with RAW? What's happening?
Okay. Defense Intelligence Agency is an agency of the defense which collects intelligence.
What is intelligence?
So, intelligence is synthesizing of corroboration of information which is available from various domains.
Okay.
You have information coming from 10 sources. You sift it together, you synthesize it, you filter it. Then there's some voids. You task an agency which is probably better in acquisition intelligence. You fill up that void. You make the int picture or the intelligence picture. Once it is confirmed intelligence picture, then the information which had been gathered is called intelligence. Once it has got some intelligence weighted it.
Yeah.
Now, intelligence is of two types. One is red hot intelligence, as the civilian would understand, that information on which or intelligence on which you have to act immediately, otherwise it will go bad. It's like the 4 terrorists are sitting in that hut now. If you don't act in next 30 minutes, they would move out. Then this intelligence is of no use. So such like intelligence is, even if there's a little bit of void, then you launch, and on ground you go and confirm by various means. Second is the background intelligence. You collected this intelligence and all, you realize, like you would have seen in a lot of movies, where the sleeper cells have been identified.
You mean terrorists?
But they are not acted against. The agencies wait for the opportune moment, probably when all the components are together, or probably when there's a big fish which has come in, or probably when they're just about to launch some very sensational attack. So they will hit at that time. So that is called background intelligence. So there are different types of it. And the question about functioning with the other agency, like I told you, all intelligence agencies in the country, they work in a very cohesive manner, and they meet practically every day. Every day there's a physical meeting, and electronic flow of information is real time between all these agencies.
Okay.
This is to make the youth aware that things are happening in the right way.
On the previous podcast, you said that the Indian military is always engaged in some form of operation. Now, I am assuming that before you strategize for the operation, the step involved is gathering of intelligence. And that's where the Defense Intelligence Agency really comes into play. For military-based operations, you're gathering all the information for the boys to actually go out and perform the operation efficiently without a loss of life. Am I correct in saying this?
See, what I said in the previous Hindi podcast was, any military which is not in continuous operations or which stays away from operations for a very long time, they get a little jarred. So when the day of the operation, they may not be up to it. So it's always good. And Indian Army that way is better because we are always in some sort of a operational area after every peace tenure. Right. Now coming to the point about how the operation and how the intelligence, if you have to buy a TV, what do?
Research.
You search the net. You ask a friend who had bought a particular thing, how is this TV working? You'll say it's good. You ask other friend, he said, no, mine is better. Now this is intelligence gathering. Once all this intelligence or the information has come to you, then you start working out which is the best option.
Okay.
But then you realize you don't have that type of money. Then you go for the second best. Similarly, when you're gathering information intelligence, you come to the best possible way of carrying out operations, but then you realize for this I need these resources. If they're there, go for it. If those resources are not there, and you can't wait for them to build up, then you probably do. And there comes in the leadership. There comes in the planning.
Creativity?
We call it, in the military terms, we call it how the leaders plan.
Okay.
And a good leadership can make a difference between the defeat and victory.
Okay.
Because same resources, when employed in a particular manner, may give a X dividend. But the same resources, when their orchestration is done differently, can give you X plus dividends. So
Wait.
all these things, and then operational logistics, as you said, they're a very important component of any operational planning.
If you enjoyed this video, just know that this channel was created to enhance and speed up your learning process. Some of India's brightest minds on India's biggest podcast, The Ranveer Show. This is TRS Clips, so make sure you check out all our playlists.